What is up? What's going on, guys? Trizzle here, tuning in for another great 3-star tutorial. Today, we're going to be going over Town Hall 8 Loonion, guys. One of the gems in the rough, as I would call it, just for the simple fact that this army is extremely strong. A lot of you might have slept on it because most people at Town Hall 8, they're typically using dragons. They will eventually maybe get into some go wipe. Definitely, some people using hogs with goho. So it's definitely, 3 main pillars. However, one thing that people don't realize is that without having the expos at Town Hall 8, the DPS isn't very high, and you can actually overwhelm the base with just bringing a shit ton of loons and a few minions to back them up. So this is actually going to be the first variation of the attack, guys. This is actually using a minion heavy army with 2 raid spells and 1 heal. Using this is primarily going to be allowing you to have a little bit more versatility in taking out the clan castle. I know most Town Hall 8s typically run a dragon in their war CC. Some might run a baby dragon, which would make it even easier. But in any event, since you don't have any wizards or anything like that, you definitely want to try and get that lore at the beginning. Without spending too much time, guys, I'm just going to kind of go over what we're going to be looking at with this particular variation. We're going to be using 27 balloons, 32 minions, a CC full of max balloons, a heal spell, 2 raid spells, a poison spell, and a haste spell. That archer is going to be to tank and to anchor the clan castle when you try to pull it. The raid objectives with this particular army, as with most armies, you always want to start by identifying the best side of the base to attack. You're going to want to look at where the air defenses are located, where the air sweeper is located, as well as counting up the number of archer towers. So you want to make sure that you look and see exactly what is the correct side of the base to go in on. Once you've determined that, you can go ahead and pretty much start your raid. You're going to be doing a Spam-a-lam-a-loonion, guys, deployment of the loons, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And what I mean by that is that it's not surgical, it's not targeted. You're just going to be dropping loons like a madman. So with that being said, once you drop your loons, you're going to sprinkle the minions behind them. The CC loons are going to come on the side that tend to be a little bit defense heavy, or the side that needs a little bit more support. And then you're going to use your haste and raid spell to bring that first set of loons into your air defense. And then usually I try to use the heal right after that. That way, as the loons converge into the core and they group up, they're going to get the benefit of that heal. And then finally using the final rage to try to take out the last air defense. So I'll go ahead and kind of let the attack play out, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I am going to have a couple different variations, guys. I will be showing you guys this particular version, which is the first version, and then the other variation actually allows you to bring a lot more balloons. You would actually bring 3 raid spells instead of the 2. So it's just a slightly different way of doing things. In any event, it is a very strong army, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, guys, you always want to start by luring the clan castle. That is no ifs, ands, or buts. If a dragon ends up being stuck in there and you didn't lure it, you can say goodbye to your raid, your 3-star. So once you check the CC, you're going to try to go in on those the 2 air defense, making sure that you get a nice spammy spread of your balloons, rage into the air defense, followed by a haste. And then sprinkle your minions behind, so that way they can start taking out the trash. Don't forget, as the loons go into the core, that was a very bad heal spell. I wasn't really paying attention. Well, maybe I was. I shouldn't say it like that, but you always want to try to center it over defenses or the travel path on the way to those defenses. So with that being said, I have noticed that you'll always want to save at least a few minions and a couple loons for the backside of the attack. That way, once your loons work their way through the core and they come out of the spells, you'll be able to overwhelm the last air defense without a problem. So as you guys can see, a very, very, very strong attack. Granted, there weren't any CC troops, but as you can tell by the end of the raid, I had probably almost every minion left alive, and enough firepower with the few loons I had remaining to take out the base without a problem. All right, so very, very strong attack, guys. Let me go ahead and bring you guys the next variation, and then I'll actually go ahead and show you guys some additional replays. That way you guys can start using this army, because like I said, guys, it is extremely OP, and it is definitely something you want to work into your repertoire, just for the simple fact that not only is it a good 3-star army, but you can also use it to farm, guys. I know most people, typically when they think about farming, they go about it in a very practical way, which is, okay, let me try to gather as much loot as possible while using as little troops as possible. So you'll have people kind of using Barch, or they'll use a mixed army trying to keep the cost down. But one thing that I have learned, if you are somebody that's war conscientious, you care about 3-starring, the best thing that you can do for yourself is push farming, which is using a 3-star army to climb at least pretty high in trophies. I would say if you're Town Hall 8, you want to get up to at least Crystal 2, maybe Crystal 1. If you're a Town Hall 9, you definitely want to get up into Masters 1, if not Champs 3. And what you're going to be doing is using the league bonus, using that attack bonus to pay for the army. So that way you can hit nothing but max bases, you can condition yourself to attacking the highest possible level of base, and that way you just get better at the nuances, you get more comfortable, you develop the muscle memory that you need to hit those 3 stars. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you guys the second version, and then we'll go ahead and get into some more of these attacks. Okay guys, real quick, this is version 2 of Town Hall 8 Loonion. With this particular version, we're going to be doing a little bit more of a loon heavy army. We'll be rocking 33 balloons as opposed to the 27 that we were bringing with the minion heavy army. And one other difference is the raid spell. We'll be bringing 3 raid spells as opposed to 2 raid spells with a heal with this particular setup. Because we have that additional rage, we're able to utilize the extra balloons that we have and really maximize the benefits of the strength of the balloons as a troop. So as you see, guys, with this particular army, it's going to be the same raid objectives whether you use version 1 or version 2. You want to take a look at the base, identify the most ideal side to come in on, and then once that's done, you're going to try to go in with your balloons, a nice spammy spread, followed by a few minions behind, and making sure that you rage the loons into the air defense. So let's go ahead and get this particular raid underway. And as you can see, we go ahead and get the lure out of the way. That is a must do for every raid, guys. You cannot forget to lure the CC, otherwise it will come back and haunt you. On this particular army, I went ahead and attacked the one side of the air defense first, just because there were so many archer towers over there. I wanted to just go ahead and get that out of the way. So I went ahead and attacked the bottom left hand side, and then as you see that first layer, you get your haste spell down, followed by your raid spell, and then you're going to utilize your raid spells so that way you bring your balloons into the air defense. That second rage wasn't the best rage in the world, but as you can see, the army is so strong, so OP, that it gets the job done with ease. Alright, and as you guys can see, the minions are there to go ahead and start the cleanup early, as well as to make sure that you're getting the additional support that you need on the back side of the attack. So when you take a look at where you're placing your king, you will want to try to tank the archer towers as much as possible. If not, you're going to want to save it for the back side of the attack. That way, king, a few loons, and a few minions can usually overwhelm the air defense just by itself if needs be. Alright, so again guys, this is the second variation, and it's a very, very, very strong way to approach it. This is really going to boil down to preference. If you're trying to maybe farm Dark Elixir, you may want to use version 2. And also, one thing I have noticed is with how the bases are spread out. If you have a really concentrated cluster of defenses, it would actually make sense to use the healing spell. That way, as the loons clump up, if you have a bunch of wizard towers, they can actually take out a group of loons fairly quickly. So if you have anything like a wizard tower farm or a Tesla farm, which at Town Hall 8 really isn't that common, but in the event that you do encounter that, the haste spell the healing spell would provide some additional benefits. So that's pretty much it, guys. As you can tell, both versions are extremely strong. Definitely want you guys to start practicing this because it's really going to prepare you for Town Hall 9 and getting comfortable with those air attacks. Because once you get to Town Hall 9, as you all know, balloons are king of the mountain. So go ahead and keep watching the video. I will have some additional attacks with both versions. That way you guys can get a feel for how to approach it. And real quick, one thing again that I do want to mention is that we are currently doing the July gift card contest. So if you want to enter, you want to make sure that you are a subscriber. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you're watching every new video that I put out, and every new video that's dropped, even the old ones. You need to go ahead and like that video if you haven't already done so, and you also need to comment July 2017 gift card, so that way you'll get credit for it. Alright, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder on that. Please make sure you watch the rest of the video. Got some really good attacks that I think will really help you guys out, and thanks for watching.